Well, I held my purse in this manner and opened it up, and I was looking things over, taking them off the shelf and looking them over. And I got my Kleenex out of my purse, and I went, "Hey!" And then I took the Kleenex to wipe my nose and slipped the aspirin in my purse.
My mother was arrested for shoplifting at the age of 79. She would have never told me if she could have helped it, but who else could she have called to bail her out? When I was little, she used to stuff things in my underpants, beneath my snowsuit, razor blades, Q-tips, non-dairy creamer, press my teddy in my hands, pretend that she was adjusting my clothes, pulling them up, the smell of her perfume lingering. My father used to say,
"They're going to catch you.
I'm warning you.
I'm warning you, they're going to catch you."
And he was right. Finally, they did.
And then I went to the cashier to pay for the other things that I had put in my basket, like dog food and Kleenex and other things. And I started to go out the door, and then a woman took me by the elbow and wheeled me around. She was very polite, very kind, but very firm. And she said I should go in because I had taken something that didn't belong to me and not paid for it. And I said, "No, I hadn't." And she said, "Yes, I had."
I pulled into the Walmart on that steamy Florida day and found the store detective waiting outside in her Walmart clothes. She led me to the back room, down the aisles past the shampoos and gardening tools, talking all the way.
They're not a thief until they've passed every one of the exits and exited the store. Then they are considered a shoplifter.
Next door, they were having a staff meeting and whooping it up with the Walmart cheer.
What's that spell? Walmart! Who's number one? What store's number one?
Here was my mother, so tiny and frail, stale coffee in the coffee pot, no windows, sitting in a rolling office chair with one of the wheels gone. A man was taking her picture with a Polaroid camera just as I walked in, and the flash made her eyes squint. I asked him to stop and give me the picture, but he just shook his head.
And my role is to get their name and address and so on and so forth, take a Polaroid picture of them and put it on a wall of shame. That's what we call it, the wall of shame.
Then I looked up and saw the hundreds of Polaroids on the wall. Late one summer, hot and bored, Ellie Taylor and I got caught lighting fires in the bushes out back. They hauled us down to the station, and my mother had to come and get us, scared and crying. Now, here was my mother, the flash of the Polaroid and her eyes all red, while we sat there for what must have been forever, waiting for the police to come.
I started when I was quite young, and it was a way of getting back at my parents because they were so strict to me. They didn't allow me to have candy, so I took candy. They didn't allow me to wear my hair in a fancy style, so I took bobby pins. They didn't allow me to dress in a certain way. Couldn't have earrings. And so I took all these things so that I could dress up when I wasn't at home.
To wash the perfume off or buy the same brand and quantity, to wear the clothes that appeared in my closet or dye my hair pink. She always came when I called, plucking me from whatever outstretched hands I fell into, pounding on a locked door, threatening police if they didn't release me. The smell of her laundered clothes against my dirty jeans, and I screamed and fought, but I went with her. Always I followed her back. We sat in the courtroom for a long time because smokers' court was running overtime. Dozens and dozens of teenagers arrested for smoking, promising never to light up again, never, ever. Each one petulant, their mothers at their side. And then my mother, holding my arm, after hours of defiant teens, small and trembling at the judge's bench.
Come on up, Miss Vernon. Doing all right? Hey, ma'am, it's alleged that on November the 17th in Broward County, Florida, you did there unlawfully and knowingly obtain or use or endeavor to obtain or use the property of a village store, merchandise having a value of less than $300 with the intent to either temporarily or permanently deprive. Mr. Rosenthal, we're making an application for a Broward Senior Intervention Program. All right, and this is what you're willing to do? Okay, then I need you to enter a not guilty plea at this time. Can you do that for me? All right, very good. I wish you well. This gentleman right here, listen to him. He's going to be able to help you out. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Could Mr. Rosenthal help my mother out? Could I help my mother out? Her choice was jail or 10 weeks in senior citizen shoplifting prevention school. My mom's smart. She chose shoplifting school. Group therapy, psychiatrists, 20 hours of community service, law enforcement officials, lots of other senior shoplifters. She followed Stanley Rosenthal back to his office, filled out the forms, and paid attention.
Keep your mouth shut, don't tell anybody. Worst thing you do is tell your friends. And the first thing you know, 900 people know about you. You go over to a restaurant and say, oh, you got arrested for shopping the other day, didn't you, you know? Don't even tell your mother. Don't tell your kids, don't tell anybody. And that's right, keep your mouth shut. Never open up your mouth because people stink.
That's the trouble with those senior centers. They're all seniors, and they're all got the same problems and the same difficulties. I like to be out shoplifting or looking at the sales and buying things.
We were always different, picking me up from school in a car so strange that I didn't want to get in when the others could see me. The peeling paint, its 2 little seats, the running board, the ridiculous shape. Why couldn't we just buy a new Pontiac? But once there, the wind blowing through my hair and the sun shining on my face, mixing the smell of paste with perfume, I loved her again. Mom, I asked, have you made any friends in your shoplifting prevention class?
Who wants to get friendly with people who are thieves? No, I don't feel like a thief. I feel as though I deserve what I got. I've worked hard all my life, and I deserve to have a little something extra. But I guess society doesn't look at it that way.
I drop my mother off, watch her managing the steps, wave, watch the door close behind her, and see the blue light of the television strike the curtains.
Columbia, Houston, over. Columbia, Houston, we're standing by, over. Columbia, Houston, we're standing by, over.
When we first moved to Florida, a man was walking on the moon. We took a family vacation to Cape Canaveral, and for years I dreamt of being the first girl to ride a bicycle on another planet. I dressed as Neil Armstrong for 3 Halloweens in a row. Then we drove on to St. Augustine to see the Fountain of Youth. There was a diorama, a store, a simulated hurricane, and a 20-foot-tall talking globe that told the story of Ponce de Leon and his search for the fountain. I watched the globe turn 3 times while my mother went off to the gift store and stole a plastic bottle labeled Fountain of Youth water. On the drive home, it was hot, and every few miles she turned around and squeezed the water in our faces to cool us off. Each time she'd laugh and say, "We're all going to live forever now, until eternity." My best friend Nora shoplifts all the time. She can't go into a store without taking something. It's so familiar. It's safe. It won't be me. I can watch. I can be a part of it. I can walk away. I always tell her she should stop, and she always says she will. That she just needs to reach a point where she's more at peace. More at peace? In my mother's room with the blue light, is there peace? Or does a dead child disturb her silence? Does the hand of a remote father or the blow from an absent husband shake the bed? Does the missing foot of a soldier, who's comforted by her white uniform and pert smile, walk half-step down the hall?
I was terribly frightened. You have no idea how frightened I was when I was arrested. Then I began to think, oh, well, this isn't so bad. I can do it. Be more careful next time. And it was such fun to do it that I started again pretty soon afterwards. This is a drugstore similar to the one where I was caught shoplifting, but I can't go back to that one because they don't allow you to go in once you've been caught shoplifting. I need to get some bandages today, but I'm not sure I want to do it here. There's so many mirrors in this store. There are mirrors over there, there are mirrors over there. And I imagine there are a lot of TV cameras that I can't even see. I feel very open and exposed here.
Open, exposed. Safe was the womb I came from, closed, dark, protected. A mother's hand closing over my face, pulling, taking, emptying, providing the calm of darkness. And now that hand, too transparent to hide the aspirin as it tumbles into the bag, too brittle to repel the detective as she turns toward the door. My hand cannot reach that far. I cannot help you. Stanley Rosenthal cannot help you. My womb is empty, protecting no one. And so I grope in your direction, but your face is turned and your hand is reaching towards the shelf.
Stan Rosenwald, can I help you? Listen, Jane, I got you. You're in the program. And get me some written proof that you've served 20 hours of community service, whether it be a church or synagogue or whatever. And I want to tell you that, be careful, be good, because if you get arrested the next time, honey, you come in with your pajamas and your toothbrush because you're going to go to jail. So I'm just telling you, that's what. The second time, they don't stand for second offenders. Okay, dear? All right, give me a call in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.